changed for money.
Capitalism sees that when they are working it out, which the ANC, which is their party, is not going to win, they will make it win. Do you think it's at that level?
Well, South African electoral system is very complicated, but there's a lot of room for corrupting the system, and so on. Votes not being accounted. But the corruption actually happens prior to the voting day. It happens with the resource mobilization. I mean, the ANC and DA and EFF, they spend over 500 million, up close to $1 billion, I believe, in these elections, each of them.
Each?
Yeah.
That's a substantial amount.
Yes, I believe. I mean, if you one billboard, those of Julius everywhere, is 100,000 a month, and he had them throughout the nation for about 3 months, and then he had the posters up to the most rural village, and I mean that's another, I would say, at least 150 million. I mean, we had about 100,000 to run elections. So the inequalities are so huge.
You've already lost by the time you get to the voting day.
That's right. And then of course the media also in the last national election, the way we were put into a court process, locked into court processes. Basically, we were unable to do the work, and we were projected again as mad and all that goes with that.
I mean, you were cleared only by the IEC 4 days before or something.
Yeah, like very close to that. So a lot of people thought we were not on the ballot. And then Patrice Motsepe took us to court the day before the elections. We were in court. We were unable to do any real campaigning. But 20,000 people votes were counted in our favor.
That's a strong number.
Yes, and we need
relative to the money that you spend. Yes. So if you want to increase that by tenfold to be 200,000, you would need to spend 2 million.
That's it.
But 200,000 is the equivalent of how many people in parliament? Because 2 million is a reachable number. It's just a matter of talking to the right people, obviously, and mobilizing the right resources. But 200,000 outright votes guarantees you how many seats?
I mean, at least 10.
At least 10 seats. So it's a workable. You got to 20,000. You got a workable number. Like, it's a great start. That's the way I would look at it. Like, it's just, and if you've spent precisely 100,000, then you would say if you spend 2 million or 1.5 million, then you can hopefully double the number to 10 seats. That's a sign for hope in the future.
Yes, I mean, we just need to get those resources and give it a good shot, and let's see if we can get the representation. Because the key thing is to get representation.
Absolutely. Do you think, I mean, the DA will never need funding? The Freedom Fund Plus, will never need funding. Even the most obscure white Africans party will never need funding, because for as long as there are white people, there will be white business people who will sympathize with them. Do you think black business or black capital, as tiny as it is in relative to the South Africa's economy, maybe it could be 5% or less, do you think black business people need to be conscientized to support movements like yours?
Yes, but there's a big risk. You know, one of the guys in the last national elections who gave us a bit of money, immediately his tax affairs were messed up. He got out of business.
How was he found out? Like, how did they know that
he made a transfer into our movement?
So what happened? Like, who flagged it?
Obviously,
a significant sum.
Well, it was about 20,000. It's not even a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money.
But clearly, what happens is, who runs the banks? You know, the banks is all, the same enemy, and so they must have seen that this guy, and then they attacked him, put him out of business, followed him viciously, aggressively. So black business is very vulnerable, and it's not going to come out and support a project which is inimical to the real enemy. So that leaves us with the possibility of getting money from outside of the country, from other black people who are radical, or we have to find the money amongst the people. We just have to find a solution to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's shocking. That's very shocking to hear that people can be harassed. But that's what happens when you don't own the country. So we are just renting.
Yeah, we are tenants in the
Yeah, so
country.
the tenants.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, let's wrap it up then, my leader. Maybe let me take a little bit, 10 or so minutes of your time. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson says that the system of racism, white supremacy is driven by the need for self-preservation. She goes at length in explaining it, but in paraphrasing it, I would say that she says whiteness realizes that when it